Well, apparently I'm here all by myself, except that I'm not, because somebody else is here with me, two other people. There they are. We have Gemma and Gabby.
Hello.
So, Gabby Millgate, the limelight is quite often on you, but today it's on your colleague. It is. She did something amazing. Can you please tell us, Gemma, what you did?
I wrote a book.
You
I
did.
illustrated a book.
Yeah. And now this is a book that you have created for the children that you work with, and I want you to tell us all about that. And it is, what is it called?
It's called Coronavirus and Me, an explanation for 3 to 6 years.
So cool. And you've got a little bit of fame because of this. Tell us about it. What's happening? Where is it? How's it happening?
Oh, I don't know. Just I just wrote it for my class, my kangaroos. I just kind of spread over the internet a little bit. I've noticed it in British Columbia, Canada. It's been popping up a little bit. It's been pretty cool. I'm glad that it's been helping some people. It's been nice. I like it.
And it's an interesting story how it came about. I love that Gemma just decided that she needed a resource and looked for it and couldn't find it, so made it herself.
Yes.
What tell us about what you heard that triggered this?
I just noticed that a lot of the children, they'd heard the word coronavirus. It was, especially, a few weeks ago, there was a lot of fear around that word. The children, they knew what it was. They knew it was a cold, a virus that was coming around. They'd heard it on the news, often like accompanied by, the words death and sickness, and, their parents were worried everything was changing, but they didn't know like what that meant for their own worlds, So when I tried to look for resources specifically for early childhood, nothing really came up. It was a lot more for sort of older kids, for primary schools, high schools, that just the terminology and the wording just didn't sit comfortably with how I would talk to the children in my care. So I just decided, well, I just better do it myself. So I did, and I think it worked right.
And you did research?
I did. There was a book created by the Australian Childhood Foundation, www.childhood.org.au, and they came out with an infographic story similar to mine that was published online, but it was full of terminology that was mainly aimed at sort of over 6. That I saw that and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I'd love to read that to my children, but it's just a bit too wordy that I'd have to fully start explaining it anyway. So
Have you got the book there?
Yes.
I do.
I'll hold it. You can talk.
So,
It's on PDF and we just printed it out, A3, but you could make it smaller.
Can you tell us about those illustrations?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I really only envisioned, had planned for this to go in my classroom or like around my centre, which, I knew that I was comfortable in, that I have connections in. So I did this whole thing in about a night. It really, they're just scribbles.
They're very talented scribbles.
Thank you.
But Gemma told me she's been a bit of a fan of just doing drawing since she was a girl.
Yeah, it's just a hobby. I like illustrations, and my favorite part of children's books are just the illustrations and seeing the beautiful watercolor stuff. I'm introducing watercolor to my children in my room as well, and they're loving it. So it's been a good little link to all of our stuff. They can see sort of not only what they're doing with the techniques that they've been doing for the last few weeks, but another way to kind of introduce that as well.
I also love this particular page it's about some of your friends might be staying home from daycare.
Oh.
And so it kind of allows children to imagine in their mind that their friends are still there, and they might even relate to having to stay home too.
Yeah.
Are those words backwards?
No, they're perfect.
Okay.
They are wonderful. Wow. And Gemma, what I'm finding just so generous and wonderful about this is you've made it freely available.
Yeah. You know, I just want to, if it's going to help anyone, you know, that's what I want. That's really my only aim, is if it's going to help spark conversations between, you know, educators and children, families, children to children, that's really all I could ask for. So.
Because in the author's notes, which I've read, hi, Gabby Millgate again.
Hello, Gabby Millgate.
One of the children said, if you get corona, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was back at those early stages when there was just so much fear surrounding that word coronavirus, and they knew that word, they knew kind of what it meant, but not how that would affect them directly. So having a short, simple, warm story that they could connect with and have those conversations together, that they knew it didn't have to be a scary thing, as long as you use good hygiene, wash your hands, you know, do all those things that we've been asked by the government, all these different levels, then, you know, they're going to be fine. They're going to be safe. We're here to look after them. They'll be okay.
Absolutely amazing, and just so beautifully delivered for children by an early childhood educator in Australia. The second book to come out of Woden Valley Children's Centre. Of course, the first was the book by Gabby Millgate, and now, Debbie, you've come along and stolen all of the limelight.
I know, I was the only author for so long.
I know, and now
the younger generation. Oh, come on.
I just feel like the best things come out of Woden Valley Childcare. It's so creative and really meets that need for children, and beautifully presented. You've just got that perfect combination of skill set there, Gemma, to bring all that together. And I'm excited to be able to help share and spread the word. And so I'm just going to pop a little PDF link wherever I can around this video, and we'll share. But I just wanted to, after I read it, I thought, I need to talk to you about where this has come about, and you know, and what's happened since. So have you had feedback from educators around the world?
The first night I sort of published it on my personal Facebook page, just for, you know, when I went through TAFE, I made a lot of connections through, I'm originally from Adelaide, so I have lots of connections in South Australia and Canberra now, and, you know, all of this sort of stuff, sharing it over there. And I think that first night I got over like 150 sort of message requests, just being like, can I please have it? Can I please? And I was like, yeah, go. So I was up like half the night just emailing PDFs out. So it's been really great. Everyone's just been really supportive and lovely. And I couldn't ask for any better feedback. It's been so nice.
So it is copyright, but it's under Creative Commons, which means that no one else is allowed to make money out of it. It belongs to the world, and people are have permission by the author to reproduce it, but for, you know, keep it in its original form, and it's not for profit. It's an educational resource that, you know, will help children feel safer and feel more empowered to have a bit more of control and mastery. Cup.
Yes, right. I did notice
because of the knowledge
plug in the background there with the perfectly placed book. Gemma, it is such a pleasure to hear from you directly, and I want to thank you on behalf of educators everywhere for creating this beautiful book and allowing it to be available via the Creative Commons and sharing so widely and generously, and we'll continue to do the same so that educators everywhere can benefit from your beautiful creativity. So on behalf of educators and children all over the world, thank you very, very much.
You make me cry.
And One Valley Childcare Centre is on Facebook. We'd love for people to send us photos of you reading the book to your children.
Yeah.
And give us a Google. We've got some videos as well, and we're happy. We'd love to connect and contribute to our world, EYLF. Cool.
Absolutely. Please do connect with Woden Valley Childcare Centre on Facebook. I'll pop the links here as well. And let's all share the love and share what we're doing and connect together about this beautiful work that's happening. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandi.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.